Surprises for FA Cup. Some of the English team exit as Sunderland, of course, one of them, and Fulham. They were all knocked out. We saw what happened. That is for FA Cup, and then also some of the teams that were not for FA were also knocked out. But all in all, we said winners never quit. Yesterday also we had our own packages, and of course one packages we got it right. I can say congratulations. Then the two, of course, they were Lupsol 1-1-1 team cut them off. So we are going first to start with Length versus Metes. That, of course, that game we wanted a straight win. The game ended 3-0. That one we got it. Then Lyon is the team that I expected a straight win also from them, but to our surprise, of course, the game ended 1-1. It was actually the team that cut us our first ticket. Then Fenerbahce versus Sanspar, of course, that game ended 3-2. It was a dramatic one because when they reached 8 minutes, I saw Fenerbahce was losing. I was like, just we need hope to survive in this very game. So that is first package, one team, runners. Then the second one, of course, Kamba versus Jong FC Utrecht. We gave Canberra straight win and they produced only a single goal there. Then Rangers is one of the team versus Celtic, the teams that run us here. They failed to produce a single goal in this very match, and we're expecting, of course, over 1.5. Then CSK Sofia, the trust was there on them versus Lokomotiv. They produced two goals. That is, we expected 1.5, and there you can see the game. Then the third package that get us smiling is Go Ahead Eagle versus FC20. We expected FC20 at least to produce a goal. They went and produced 4 goals. Neck versus, of course, FC Volendam. We expect over 1.5. They won 3-0. And then Villarreal is what we guarded Villarreal, knowing Elche would pile pressure, and that game ended 2-1. Yes, in favor of Villarreal. So these were the games for yesterday. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Etap Sports Xtra. For those who are new, actually, thank you for liking this channel, subscribe, like, share with your colleagues. Yeah, so let's start. Of course, for today there are many games, but most of these games are games from other leagues, not very well known to many of us, but these are the games that will open for us as we prepare for Champions League tomorrow and the next day. We got them loading up tomorrow. Don't miss. Today we're starting with the team in Russia Premier League, Lokomotiv Moscow versus Al-Kahart Grami. And we all know that Lokomotiv is one of the teams that is doing very well in Russia Premier League. And of course, if you're to look at their head-to-head, right now, Lokomotiv sits on the 3rd position, and of course, Al-Kahart sits on the 9th positions. But if you're to look at their head-to-head, Lokomotiv won 3. There are 2 draws between these two teams, but Al-Kahart has not beaten actually Lokomotiv in the last 3 games. And moreover, when they meet, goals are always produced 5-0. 3-0, 1-1 is where they got the draws. Were 2 times that match ended 1-1. But when Lokomotiv is given time, it just score many goals. So in this very game, we're going to say over 1.5 in this very first game of the day. Then the second game is coming from Spain, Segunda, and that is Almeria versus, of course, Cultural Leones. This already told you it's coming from Spain. And if you're to look at Almeria in the last 5 games, they won 4 and they draw 1. They haven't lost in the last 5 games. And Cultural, of course, Leon, you see that they won 3, draw 1 also, and also lost a big pardon there. So, if you're to look at these two teams, Cultural learners struggle so much. and seeing them sit down of the table, and Almeria City is quite doing very well. They score goals, always produce many goals. 2-3-0, and then also 2-1. You find that Almeria got an upper hand of taking this, but for us to be safe, you're going with over 1.5. Yes, we would have given them, because they got upper chance of winning this game, but over 1.5 would be safe for us in this very game. Then another game is coming from Egypt Premier League, that is Al Ghashir versus Al Hilal. That one is in Egypt, not Saudi Pro. And if you're to look at Al Ghashir, sits right now on the 16 positions, Al Hilal third position. But also, if you're to look at the head-to-head, Al Hilal has won all the three matches, beating with a big gap of 4-5-3. Yes, nil, without even them, Halilal scoring any goal again, without Al Ghashir scoring any goal against Al Hilal. So right now, of course, you look at their last recent matches. Al Hilal won actually 4-1, and Al Ghashir draw 2, lost 1, and won 2. But this game, Al Hilali got a half round of winning. We are going with over 1.5 in this very game, even if the graded scoring for us to be safe. So the first one, Locomotive versus Al Khair, Grims over 1.5, Almeria versus Cultural Leon over 1.5, Al Ghashir versus Halilal over 1.5. Straight to the second, of course, package of the day is coming from Indonesia. That is Paris Bandung versus Pariski Kedridi. That is from Indonesia. But if you're to look at Paris Bandung, won 4, draw 1 in the last 5 games. Actually, it's one of the teams that is very perfect. Wins very much and score goals. It's only the last game that ended in a draw. I didn't expect them to do that. Pariski Kedri won 2, lost 2, draw 1. But for this game, I told you today we play safe. Expect over 1.5 from this very game. Then another game coming from Italy, Serie C, is called Ascoli versus Ravenna. Now, if you're to look at Ascoli, in the last 5 games, they won 4, drew 1. They haven't lost in the last 5 games. And Ravenna won 2, drew 2, lost 1. But of course, we know that Ascoli is doing quite very well in that Serie C. And they actually on top 4 quite very well. So in this very game, still we are going to go with over 1.5 in this very second game. Then the third, of course, in that first wicket is Levski Sofia versus Lokomotiv Pladovia. That is in Bulgaria team. I said I always have time for the Bulgaria team. And in this very game, Sofia, Levski won 4 matches, lost 1. And of course, Locomotive drew 3, lost 1, and won 1 in the last 5 games. But I told you already, based on goal scoring, and has to be safe in this very game. We're not losing anything, but of course, Sofia is also a stubborn team. We're going to guard Levski Sofia in this very game. Is home to win or draw? Then the third, of course, that you're going to look at the moment, the team is coming from Portugal, that is Benfica 2 versus Ferranesi. So if you look at Benfica itself, it's quietly too, it's not doing that very bad. But you know, when it comes to this League 2 game, always they have their own ways of playing, and Benfica 2 in the last 5 games won 1, drew 2, lost 2, and for instance lost 2, drew 2, and won 1. So you see that it's actually a game of win, draw, loss. Is so much for us to be safe we are not trusting his side, or 1.5 is what we're going to give this Benfica team. Then another game, of course, is also coming from Denmark, first division, that is AC Horsens versus Linabai. Now, for those who have been playing Linabai is one of the teams that is very good and consistent when it comes to football. Liverpool won the last 4 matches, actually lost only one, and Hussein won two, drew one, and lost two. And if you to look at actually the teams on the table, we find that Liverpool is quite doing very well compared to Hussein. So in this very game for us, I would even go with this win for Liverpool. But for us to be safe, we expect over 1.5 in this very game. Then the last game is a CFR Cluj versus a Dynamo Bundesliga. Yeah, so this last game actually is one of the games that I always like. In fact, I like playing CFR Luigi because in the last 5 games they won all their matches. They are actually on top notch, winning games like nothing. But Dynamo Bucharest also in the last 5 games they won 2, lost 2, and they draw 1. For us to be safe as investor, we only expect over 1.5 to be safe here, because Dynamo Bucharest sometimes prove to be very stubborn, very stubborn for that case. So these are my texts for today, but remember always, for my great, handsome and beautiful ladies here who are following me here, always have a game for you, and this game is coming from England team, that's West Ham versus Brentford. Drop your predictions for this FA Cup and tell me what you think about this game. Yes, it's free. You're free to drop yours and actually tell me what actually happened. So yesterday for FC Porto, it was a dramatic one. Already told you that game. It was for, I know, Moreno. The game ended 2-2. Yes, it was a dramatic one at that point. So let's see. I'll go through and see who actually got it right there. Thank you for watching, and like, share, and we see you again as we prepare for Champion League for the champions. Have a good Monday. Love you all.